will see how effortlessly life unfolds. To awaken to your desire, you must first accept that it is already done. You must live in the feeling of its fulfillment, knowing that the unseen is just as real as the seen. This is why faith is so powerful. It is the ability to see beyond appearances, to trust in what the world cannot yet see. The moment you believe that your desire is already yours, life will rearrange itself to reflect that belief. Some may argue that desire leads to disappointment, that to want something is to set yourself up for failure. But this only happens when you treat desire as something outside of yourself, something to be obtained rather than something to be realized. The truth is, you do not chase after your desires. You assume them. You embody the state of already having what you want, and the world responds accordingly. You have been taught to believe in effort, in struggle, in competition, but look at how effortlessly the sun rises each morning, how the seasons change without force, how the rivers flow to the ocean without resistance. Nature does not struggle, and neither should you. When you align with the truth that your desire is already yours, you will experience the same effortless flow. You will no longer seek, you will simply receive. Let go of the idea that you must work for what is already given. Let go of the belief that you are separate from what you desire. Trust that the vision placed in your heart is not a test, not a tease, but a promise. Your only responsibility is to align with it, to live in the knowing that it is done. And when you do, you will watch as your world shifts effortlessly to reflect the divine reality that has always been waiting for you. There is a profound difference between searching for something and knowing it is already yours. The search implies separation, a belief that what you desire is somewhere outside of you, waiting to be found. But the truth is, nothing is missing. The reality you seek already exists, and it is only your awareness of it that needs to shift. When you live in the end rather than in the search, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect your certainty. Most people live in a constant state of seeking. They seek love, they seek wealth, they seek happiness, always believing that these things exist somewhere beyond their current experience. And because they continue to affirm that they do not have what they want, life continues to show them the absence of it. Seeking reinforces the idea that you lack and whatever you persistently assume you will experience. But when you live in the end, you stop searching and start being. You no longer look for signs of your manifestation. You embody the feeling of already having it. You carry yourself as if it were done. You think, speak, and act from the place of fulfillment, not from the place of wanting. This is the key difference between those who struggle and those who effortlessly receive. One is always reaching, while the other has already arrived. Imagine an actor preparing for a role. The moment they step on stage, they do not act as if they are becoming the character. They are the character. They fully assume the identity, speaking, moving, and thinking as that person. And because they commit to the role, the audience believes it too. When you assume the state of your fulfilled desire, life itself becomes the stage that conforms to your assumption. Many hesitate to do this because they are waiting for proof. They want to see the evidence before they believe, but that is not how creation works. The seen world is merely a reflection of the unseen. If you wait for physical proof before changing your assumption, you will always remain stuck in the loop of waiting. The moment you stop waiting and start knowing, everything shifts. Think of a person who desires to be wealthy. If they constantly tell themselves they are poor, if they check their bank account in disappointment, if they worry about every bill, they are living in the state of lack. But if they shift their assumption, if they begin to feel abundant, to walk with confidence, to make decisions from a place of prosperity rather than fear, their external world will begin to reflect this new inner state. Opportunities will arise, financial doors will open, and circumstances will shift to match their assumption. This is not magic, this is law. You do not need to figure out how it will happen. You only need to assume that it already has. When you live in the end, you trust that the unseen is just as real as the seen. You stop asking when and how because you already know it is done. Doubt is what keeps most people trapped in the search. They waver between belief and disbelief, constantly checking for signs, constantly questioning whether their desire will ever materialize. But faith does not waver. Faith does not ask for reassurance. Faith declares something as true, and in doing so makes it true. You must embody the reality you desire before you see it. Do not wait for the world to give you permission to feel wealthy, loved, successful, or happy. Feel it now. Own it now. Walk as if it were already yours. And soon, you will find that it is. The moment you stop seeking and start knowing, the world will move to reflect your certainty. It must, because the world is simply a mirror of your inner state. Faith is the invisible bridge between what is seen and what is yet to be seen. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet visible. But to many, faith feels uncertain, like a fragile hope rather than an unshakable truth. This is where most people struggle. They believe only in what they can see with their eyes, touch with their hands, and measure with logic. But the greatest truths of life exist beyond the senses. Your desires are already fulfilled in ways beyond your understanding, and your only task is to trust, not to chase. When you chase something, you affirm that it is separate from you. You believe it is outside of your reach, and in doing so, you push it further away. But when you trust, when you move with the certainty that it is already done, you allow it to come to you effortlessly. Faith is not about forcing reality to change. It is about aligning yourself with the reality that already exists in the unseen. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil the process is unfolding. You water it, give it sunlight, and know that in time it will break through the surface. Faith works the same way. The moment you desire something, the seed is planted. Your belief, your trust is the water that nourishes it. If you worry, doubt, or try to force its growth, you disrupt the natural process. But when you trust, when you live as though your desire is already on its way, it must manifest. Many people think that faith means waiting passively, but this is not true. Faith is an active knowing. It is the ability to walk forward even when you do not yet see the path beneath your feet. It is the willingness to act as though what you desire is already yours, to speak, think, and move in alignment with that reality. You do not wait for proof. You become the proof through your conviction. Look at the great figures of history, those who changed the world in ways others thought impossible. They did not wait for evidence before believing. They believed first, and the evidence followed. Whether in science, art, business, or spirituality, every great breakthrough came from someone who trusted in an unseen reality before the world recognized it. The same principle applies to your life. You must trust in your desire's fulfillment before it becomes visible. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. When you doubt, you send mixed signals to the universe. One moment you believe, the next you question. This back and forth prevents the bridge from forming between the unseen and the seen. Faith must be unwavering. You must hold to your vision even when nothing in the physical world suggests it is possible. The mind will always try to interfere, asking, but how? When? Where will it come from? This is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to assume it is already done. Trust that unseen forces are working on your behalf, arranging circumstances, guiding people, and shifting reality in ways you cannot yet perceive. The universe operates beyond human understanding, and when you surrender control, you allow things to unfold in ways greater than you could ever plan. When you live with faith, you walk differently. You no longer carry desperation or anxiety. You no longer try to manipulate circumstances. You rest in the knowing that what is meant for you is already yours. You speak with confidence, move with purpose, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith is the bridge. It connects the world of thought to the world of form. It turns the invisible into the visible. The moment you stop chasing and start trusting, you will see that what you sought was never far. It was simply waiting for you to believe. Everything you seek is already within you. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of your assumptions, your beliefs, and the state of being you choose to embody. There is no need to chase, no need to struggle, only the need to awaken to the truth that what you desire is already yours. You are not here to beg for opportunities, but to align with them. Your purpose is not to search endlessly, but to live in the certainty that what is meant for you is unfolding effortlessly. Your imagination shapes your reality, your desires are divine guidance, and your faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you stop looking, stop doubting, and start knowing, the world will rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. What you assume to be true will be made real. So walk as if you have already received, trust that all things are working in your favor, and let life unfold in perfect harmony. Thank you.